I'm standing here on the side of the road. It's about 11:30 at night. We're on our way to Saloum National Park, which is on the border with Gambia and Senegal. The park is very, very hard to find. I am here on the border with Senegal and Gambia. I am with Lamine Dlamé. He is the warden of the national park called the Nyumi, which is over the border in Gambia.
These transboundary projects are parks that are within different countries. For example, Saloum National Park is in Senegal and Nyumi National Park is in the Gambia. But I mean, if you come to the wildlife species, like the animal species, birds and all so forth, dolphins, turtles, they don't know any boundary. You cannot say this turtle cannot say I'm a Gambian, or they don't need even a visa or an identification card. They don't have passports. In Nyumi, we have like some of these aquatic mammals, like the West African manatee, which is an endangered species. We have dolphins, the bottlenose dolphins, and the humpback, and we have also turtles like green turtles, and we have also some otters, clawless otters, and many more. As you know, the government doesn't have that much resources, for the protection of the park. The staff on the ground is very thin. For example, I have only 2 supporting staffs and 6 volunteers trying to protect an area of almost about 5,000 hectares. But our intention is to encourage the local communities to have local eco camps, eco camps, there's eco lodges. Lodges where they can, at least the local communities can also benefit. Well, I would like to tell everybody that they should come and assist, For example, a park that doesn't have even a vehicle, it's just a problem. We don't have a boat at present, to do some of the surveillance on the ground. So we would like, others to jump in and assist, to complement government's effort.
I am with Colonel Njai from Wetlands International, and we are working here at the Saloum Nyumi National Park. It's a transboundary park on the border between Gambia and Senegal.
It has been a very tough period some years back, because we was thinking that wildlife conservation is just for wildlife people, not involving communities. And we have failed worldwide, of course. Senegal and Gambia are not an exception. We do have some challenges because we can't go by our own. We have to involve our surrounding villages, our neighbors, who wild resources, natural resources, belongs to them on a daily basis. It has worked very, very perfectly, I can say, because what we have seen in practical, to see the women organized by themselves in small groups, to be sure they can look after their own resources with a code of conduct, it's quite marvelous, because sometimes the fishermen coming elsewhere can just come as a temporary camp to harvest everything and run away from the side. But with their code of conduct, they are sure to be managed these resources in a wise way.
I've spent about 2 days traveling to get to this stretch of beach. It's been a very tough trip. Almost 11 hours last night in a car that was probably made in about 1968. And then all day today I've been making my way here by boat, by public transport, and by another truck run by the Wetlands International people. And now that we're here, we have about 1.5 hours before sunset, and everybody who's come to count the birds wants to come here tomorrow. But I'm anxious. I want to see these terns. And I'm going to try and hurry along here and see if I can't catch them before the sun goes down. But I don't really know where they are, but I'm going to find them. I've traveled too far to be disappointed now. So I found my birds. They're all around me. It's absolutely stunning. I made it in time for the sunset, every photographer's dream. You can see right back behind me here. It's a pleasure to see it. It's going to be a long walk back. I almost half ran here, but I saw some really interesting crabs scuttling along. So it's really encouraging to be out here today and to see these teeming bird populations. They're really something to behold. There's so many of them, and they are everywhere. They're making a chattering and a clamor. It's great. I didn't have my coffee this morning, and it doesn't matter. I walked here about an hour to catch the sunrise, and there is no sun. There's an overcast sky today, so that also doesn't matter. It's amazing to be out here and to be able to see these birds in their natural habitat. But I have to admit, I'm deeply disturbed by what I've seen here this morning. The beach is full of rubbish. Floating rubbish, possibly rubbish dumped in Dakar, which, although it took 2 days to get here, is only about 280 kilometers away. But it's clearly rubbish that's been dumped at the sea, in the sea, and then it's been blown over here. It's all wind-borne rubbish. It looks like everything here will probably float. But there is, in any given square kilometer on this beach, there's probably 7 to 20 tons of rubbish. It's deeply disturbing. And I'd like to say something really encouraging and say that I know that there's some people who are working very hard here to clean up this rubbish and to make sure that it's not being dumped in the future. But despite all my inquiries, I've been met with a stony silence on that quarter. It makes me wonder if I shouldn't come down here and work for a while, and maybe you should too. It's really disturbing, because this is one of the most beautiful places I have ever seen. And it is totally ruined by the tons of rubbish that is just sitting here on the beach. The birds are nesting in it, the birds are eating it, and they're dying. Yeah. I sure wish it wasn't here, and I'm starting to wonder if there's anything I can do to stop it from being here. That would be really encouraging for me. But there is something that I can do. If you all would like to join with me and help us to pick up the rubbish on this beach by giving a small donation, and it'll be administered through Wetlands International. That money will not go into some kitty of Wetlands International that gets used for something else. I can assure you that that money will be used to clean up this beach. So come on, let's do something positive. Show your banker how much you love the environment. And put in some money and give these folks some support out here. There's a lot of dedicated individuals, and they're really working hard, but they just don't have the means, they don't have the budget, but they do have the willpower. Let's earmark that donation from my website to cleaning up the Salum Nyomi River Delta and providing these people with the funds they need to get the job done.